Hey everybody, Johnny Cage here, welcoming you back to another game review. This time we're taking a look at Super Mario Land 2, developed and published by Nintendo, released November 2nd, 1992 for the Game Boy. In Super Mario Land 2, you'll take control of everyone's favorite plumber as you attempt to conquer 6 different zones spanning 32 levels total, in the hopes of earning back those 6 golden coins which will allow you entry into Mario's castle to do battle with Wario, making his debut appearance in this game. Once you have made your way through the game's tutorial stage, you'll have free reign as to where you want to proceed next. All 6 worlds are easy to navigate to, though to reach the space zone you will first have to finish this bubble stage through its upper exit to access the other 2 levels. As I touched on, there are 32 stages in the game, but not all of them need to be completed to finish it. Some zones will have optional levels, and there are some scattered off the beaten path that can be accessed via secret exits, encouraging exploration. Speaking of those exits, every level has a bell located above the goal sign which you can slightly go out of your way to bump into, which will automatically finish the stage and launch you into one of 2 bonus games which will provide you with extra lives or power-ups. When it comes to those power-ups, you have the standard mushroom to make you bigger, the invincibility star to quickly dispatch your foes, and the fire flower for chucking fireballs at enemies. These are especially effective against bosses, and you can take them down in no time if you get the jump on them. Oh, and don't forget to grab the Mario money as well. You also have bunny ears, which will allow Mario to glide through the air, though you will slowly lose altitude unless you get the button press for the flapping just right. These can also make quick work of many of the levels, as flying over enemies and obstacles usually gives you a clear path to the end of an area. Between the bonus stages and bunny ears, you might be getting some serious Mario World vibes, and you would be right to think that, as Mario World was released only a year before Mario Land 2. And while producer Gunpei Yokoi and director Hiroshi Kiyotake set out to try to craft a game very different from any other adventure Mario had been on previously, they had trouble coming up with something completely original and opted instead for something more closely resembling Mario World. This probably left the development team a bit discouraged as they had to abandon their original vision, but it actually probably led to this title being more memorable that way. Mario World on the SNES does have a variety of different worlds to play through, but there are plenty of levels where unless you're very familiar with the game, you wouldn't be able to tell at a glance which world each stage belongs to. In Super Mario Land 2, however, each world has a very distinct look to it, such as the tree zone being full of insect baddies, or the space zone featuring astronaut Mario and having less gravity, allowing you to jump much higher than usual. Choices like these really help to make each world feel different from one another, and probably help to create a more memorable experience when it comes to the level design. A couple other unique design choices are present here as well, with the enemy kill counter at the bottom of the screen which will grant you a star once you take out 100 foes. Also, coins act a bit differently. Unlike in other Mario titles, you won't get an extra life after you snag 100 of them, but instead can spend different increments of them to play a Wheel of Fortune style game in this hollowed out hill. The difficulty in the game is definitely on the low side, even for a Mario title, and you shouldn't have a hard time plowing through the 6 worlds on your first try, though if you do get a game over, you will need to refight the bosses of each world to reclaim the golden coins. Notice how I just said the 6 worlds are particularly easy though, as the final castle level is a significant step up from what you have experienced previously. Here you'll have to put all of your platforming skills to the test in a stage that doesn't even feature any checkpoints. You are at least provided power-ups at different parts of the level to keep you going, but this is one of those stages that you're likely going to need to try a few times before you encounter the dreaded Wario, and geez will you take a look at this guy. His design sure has come a long way since his introduction. Here you'll need to take him out 3 times, requiring 3 hits each time, and battling him while he's using the same power-ups that Mario has been using throughout his journey. At least this isn't as tough as the rest of the stage, providing you with power-ups after each of Wario's forms, and it's not too much trouble to stunlock Wario for some quick kills. The controls in the game are what you would expect for a Mario title on the Game Boy. A will jump or flap your wings, or swim if pressed repeatedly. B will get Mario running and shoot his fireballs if you have them equipped. You can also spin jump by holding down while jumping, though you can only do this as Big Mario or Fire Flower Mario. You can also use it to deal extra damage to enemies and activate question blocks, which will help with the flow of the game since you don't need to stop to get a power-up this way. Unfortunately, the one big downside here is the way that Mario gains momentum, and you'll probably notice it almost immediately, or at least when you go to make what seems like a simple jump and come up short. Strangely, Mario doesn't get as big of a jump as he possibly can by just holding down the run button along with the jump button. Instead, if you let go of the jump button between 21 and 26 frames while executing it, you will perform a super jump, launching you higher into the air, and is a technique that you're going to want to get down if you want to excel at this game. At least the hitboxes are quite forgiving, giving the player the benefit of slipping by some enemies or skimming over the tops of spikes that would otherwise hit you. Visually, the game looks great for the Game Boy and is a big step up from the original Mario Land. I have already discussed the different zone designs, but the original enemies in the game are also a treat, with my favorites being the hockey mask with knife through it and the Dracula that can be found in the Pumpkin Zone. Though this upgrading graphics does mean that there's a good bit of lag here, but that was pretty normal for just about any title on the Game Boy, so you can't really count it against it. The audio was on point for Nintendo's flagship franchise, probably not too much you'll remember after playing, but some catchy ones for sure, with Space Zone 2 probably featuring its best, which is appreciated since the level is an auto-scroller and the longest level in the game outside of the final castle. These days you can pick up Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy for about $20 American on eBay, and if you want to try out other Mario adventures on the Game Boy, you can also pick up the original Super Mario Land and Wario Land Super Mario Land 3, both released on the Game Boy and also quite affordable. I'm gonna go ahead and give Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins, 9 cowfish out of 10. The only major issue is with that jumping momentum mechanic, which is a pain, but I doubt it would be enough to turn anyone off from enjoying this one. Nowadays, I feel like the 2D Mario games are really lacking compared to the experience that the 3D titles have been offering since the N64 era, usually just being remakes or ports from previous generations. And it's entries in the franchise like this one that already took chances to begin with, Nintendo could definitely look at for inspiration to reinvigorate that subgenre, or maybe even spur them on to create a new entry in the Mario Land series. Maybe one day. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you'd like to stay posted on new game reviews as I upload them, please click the subscribe button, as well as checking out the link in the description below for my Twitch channel where I stream most days. I'll talk to you all later on.